I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
There's a big secret hiding between Taehyung and HYBE, and what they're hiding from their fans is finally coming to light. You may have sensed it, something unusual is happening behind the scenes. Why, despite always appearing in public with a smile that never fades, does Taehyung seem to be carrying a huge burden? What's really going on behind closed doors between the idol and the agency that raised him? For years, Taehyung has been known as the BTS member who is always full of expressions and surprises that captivate his fans. However, as time goes by, more and more speculations have emerged about how he's starting to feel confined by HYBE's rules. Of course, this isn't easy for his fans who have always supported him to understand. But maybe there's more than just a difference of opinion going on between the two. What is Taehyung really feeling? Is there something that the biggest agency in K-pop is hiding? There's more and more talk about Taehyung, who is now looking more independent. His courage to reveal a different side of himself, away from BTS's shadow, could be a sign that there is something bigger he is fighting for. But is this a move that HYBE has approved of? Or is the agency starting to feel threatened by Taehyung's personal desire to grow outside of their boundaries? Many fans are concerned to see Taehyung posting more personal content, not just about BTS, but also his life outside the group. What is he really trying to convey? Is this a sign that he wants to explore a solo path, or is it just a way for him to voice his pent-up concerns? There must be a strong reason behind every decision he makes, and fans are now starting to look for answers. HYBE, on the other hand, seems unable to ignore the fact that one of its stars is increasingly showing signs of wanting to break free. The agency that has always held complete control over BTS may be starting to feel that they can no longer control the direction their members, especially Taehyung, take. But does that mean Taehyung is ready to part ways with HYBE, or is there something bigger they are preparing together? The rumors about the changing relationship between Taehyung and HYBE have been exacerbated by unexpected statements. Some reports have suggested that, despite intense communication, there are deep disagreements regarding the direction of Taehyung's career going forward. The tension that was previously only hinted at through vague comments has now become more apparent. Perhaps, behind the sweet smile and perfect appearance, Taehyung is struggling to find his own path, one that may not align with HYBE's grand vision. Of course, HYBE has a vested interest in keeping BTS's image intact and coordinated. But does that mean they will sacrifice the desires and artistic freedom of their members, including Taehyung? Is this a battle between control and freedom? Taehyung may be at a point where he has to choose, follow the path that the agency has prepared for him, or take a big risk to pursue his own dreams and happiness. Meanwhile, ARMY continues to question what is really happening behind the scenes. Some began to feel that there was another side to Taehyung that had not been fully revealed to the public. Perhaps he had a vision of the entertainment world that was different from what HYBE wanted. His courage to explore more aspects of himself showed that he was ready to step out of his comfort zone and carve his own path, even if it meant a bigger disagreement with his agency. As time went on, this tension began to become more apparent. Taehyung began posting more personal content, talking about deeper things that had nothing to do with BTS. This was clearly not just about creative freedom, but also about self-identity. And it seems that what ARMY saw was not just a change in Taehyung, but also how he began to feel underappreciated by the agency that had previously held complete control over his career path. The big question now is whether HYBE will support Taehyung's desire to grow as an individual, or will they continue to stifle his freedom for the sake of business? Herein lies the dilemma that may have to be faced, not only by Taehyung, but also by BTS as a group that is increasingly maturing. A big decision is coming, and armies are dying to know what happens next. There has been a lot of speculation about whether Taehyung will choose to go it alone, or remain in the shadow of the group. But one thing is for sure, Taehyung is someone who is never afraid to make big decisions, even if it means challenging the existing system. And HYBE, despite their anger, seems to know that they cannot ignore Taehyung's growing desire and ambition. The decision that Taehyung makes will have a big impact, not only for himself, but also for BTS and HYBE. Perhaps this is the beginning of a big change to come in the K-pop industry, where artists like Taehyung start to fight for their freedom more, without fear of being trapped by agency control. What happens next will greatly determine the direction of BTS's future, and ARMY will certainly be waiting for answers from the higher authorities. However, one thing that cannot be ignored is the fact that Taehyung, for all his charisma, is increasingly showing that he is more than just a submissive idol. He is an artist who wants to express himself freely, in a way that only he can determine. HYBE may be upset, but Taehyung has shown that he is more than ready to take control of his future, without fear of what lies ahead. The changes that have occurred for Taehyung are not just career-wise, but also about the personal freedom that he has been seeking. With his popularity skyrocketing and the immense influence that he has gained, it is clear that Taehyung wants to go beyond just following the roles that have been given to him. He is beginning to feel that it is time to pursue his personal dreams, break away from BTS's shadow, and perhaps, build a more independent identity. And while this has created tension with HYBE, we can see that this is a bold step for him to take to grow further as an individual, and that is a natural part of an artist's journey. What is really interesting, however, is HYBE's reaction. As the agency that has shaped and guided BTS to the pinnacle of global success, they certainly cannot allow one of their members to make decisions without considering the repercussions. HYBE must know that Taehyung is an integral part of BTS, and every move he makes will have an impact on the entire group. But will HYBE be able to accommodate Taehyung's desire to express himself more, or will they try to hold back this change in order to maintain the stability of BTS's business and image? There's no denying that Taehyung has a huge influence on the group, and it's not just about his appearance or public persona. He's a figure who inspires many people, with his emotional depth and authentic personality. Therefore, the decisions he makes will definitely affect not only himself, but also his fans and even the other BTS members. This is the moment where Taehyung becomes not just an idol, but also a leader in creating change, even in more personal matters. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility. However, there's one thing that Taehyung and HYBE must remember: BTS's fans, or ARMY, are always ready to support the BTS members' personal journeys. They know that each individual in the group has a unique story and journey. Taehyung, in his own unique way, is starting to show a deeper side of himself, something that may have been hidden behind the glamorous appearance and routine of the entertainment world. And while these changes may come as a surprise to many, ARMY will always be there, supporting the steps their idols take. Of course, there is anxiety in ARMY's hearts about what will happen to BTS in the future. Will Taehyung really decide to pursue a solo path and leave BTS behind? Or, is this just a phase where he is trying to find a balance between being part of the group and maintaining his personal freedom? With each development that is revealed, fans continue to wonder, trying to understand what is really going on behind the scenes. But one thing is for sure: no matter what changes happen, they will never stop supporting BTS, including Taehyung, who is now starting to pursue his own dreams and freedom. The tension between Taehyung and HYBE is symbolic of a larger transformation in the entertainment industry. Artists, like Taehyung, are increasingly seeking to have more control over their lives and careers. They want to be less of a product sold to fans, and more of an individual who can choose their own path, feeling the freedom to express themselves without limitations. It's a trend that's starting to be seen among other big artists, and perhaps the beginning of a new era in entertainment, where personal freedom will be a top priority, even in a highly structured industry like K-pop. With every step Taehyung takes, he inspires fans to better understand the importance of having a voice, freedom, and space to be themselves, even if that means challenging the system. For many, Taehyung's journey isn't just about his music or his stage presence, but also about having the courage to be authentic, to not be trapped in a role that others have dictated to him. And this is a message that's bigger than Taehyung's personal decisions. It's a call for freedom, one that could be more valuable than any professional achievement. However, Taehyung's journey to find personal freedom is not without its challenges. In a highly structured and organized K-pop world like HYBE, any major decision involving a change in an artist's career direction or identity is always faced with complex considerations. HYBE, as the agency that has launched BTS to the pinnacle of global success, certainly does not want to miss out on the immense potential that each member, including Taehyung, possesses. However, the more we see, the clearer it becomes that despite the obstacles he faces, Taehyung is not afraid to lead this change, both for himself and for his group.
One day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord,